Welcome to my Roblox career story, and before I get into sort of the specific parts of my Roblox career, I would like to point out a few things. First and foremost, this game is called Postal 2, and it's currently, I believe, around $5 or $6. I'm not really sure on Steam. It's an extremely old yet controversial game that has a lot of good maps to play, and this being an exception. This was a sort of school map inspired by, I guess, a real life school or just a random scroll in the States or something like that. Another thing would be the audio quality. I'm recording as of right now from my microphone, my laptop microphone actually, so the quality isn't as crisp and clear. And in the future, if I'm still sort of interested in YouTube, I will definitely buy something, probably like a Blue Yeti. Maybe that's expensive, I'm not really sure, but I'll definitely up the production quality when it comes to the voice, because if you look at my videos, a lot of my videos have my voice in it, so I'm trying to, expand if I get more serious about my content and that kind of stuff. And finally, for this video here, Roblox has been a game that I've been playing for quite a while now, so if I don't go into specifics or if I kind of mumble or stutter, then I do apologize. This has been quite a while since I've done these types of videos. I remember doing them 3 years ago. I would do these types of videos, but then again, that was for my hiatus. Now I'm pretty much free to upload videos whenever until February 2nd, in which I start my final semester at my community college. So for the time being, expect more videos to be uploaded if I feel like it. If not, then this is probably what you'll get. So without further ado, let's get right into Roblox here. So Roblox, I've been playing this game for roughly around 5 to 6 years now. Now, the first few years I was playing a lot, actually, because I was pretty much hooked or addicted to it. But then as I started to grow older and older, I started to spend less time on Roblox and more on Common Realms. Now, I may do a video on Common Realms, I'm not really sure. I mean, a lot of you probably don't know what Common Realms is, but it is what it is, whatever. So, how did it all start? It started back in 7th grade, I remember it vividly. We were just coming out of gym class, and after gym it was pretty much lunch. We had 40 or 50 minutes, I forgot, somewhere around that time frame to chill, hang out, eat, and wait for the next class to start. And during this time I was actually hanging out with a lot of my geeky nerdy friends, and these people would be the ones that would be playing games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, maybe even some Pokemon on their DS, Magic the Gathering. Oh, that was a really popular trading card game. It was Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And overall, it was just a really big community of a bunch of nerds and geeks like me, just doing whatever the hell we want. And we would sit in this really, really big area that was sort of a storage place, I believe. I'm not really sure. But we were pretty much legal to sit in there, we weren't going to get arrested or anything like that. We were in school property, So, my friend, and I will keep his name anonymous because I don't want to share it. I don't know why, I just feel like, it's kind of, intrusive or something like that if I give out his name without, without, what's it called again, without, context or without, consent or something around the lines. But anyways, he showed me Roblox, the trailer. It was the one where Telemon was in the Iron Cafe, and he had like a acidic symbol on his chest, and he had like this really blocky, slimy green zombie head. And he was going to places like the Iron Cafe. He was dancing, there was music playing, and it was just sort of a promotional trailer of Roblox for newcomers. And to me, after watching the 3 or 4 minute video, my initial reaction, I remember, I think I said that it was like, oh, this is fucking gay or something. I didn't think much of it because I just, or from what I saw it to be, it was just a legally rip-off game, and I didn't really care much about it until much later when I went to my cousin's house, and to my surprise, he too was playing Roblox. So then, as a result, he kind of introduced to me the basics and that kind of stuff, and after maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I was pretty much hooked in the game because I had never played a sort of massively multiplayer game like Roblox or Common Realms before. And as such, my first username on my first account on Roblox was called Blazing Fire 7824. And this was because my cousin's username was Firespeed, so me and my brother decided to create a username that was similar or had something to do with fire, or pretty much based off his name. So my cousin's name was Firespeed1609, mine was Blazing Fire 7824, my brother's his name was Flame Lord, 4 numbers or something like that. But nevertheless, afterwards, as I decided to, give it a try. I decided to, play. And I remember how easy it was to log in because back then I think I was around like 13 or 14 or 12. So it was really easy to bypass the security system, just typing a bunch of fake BS and then, you're pretty much set to play the game. And that account lasted me for roughly around 2 or 3 days. And the reason why I forgot it so quickly was because I did not remember my password. And again, that was just because, I BS'd it and I didn't really give much thought into memorizing my password. So with that failed attempt, I created my second account called Shadow Ninja 6078. In this account, I got a bit further, as you can tell by my blurb. If you search up my blurb on the Roblox forums thing, wherever you call it, you'll see my username. You can read my blurb, and you can laugh at how cringy it is. Because honestly, back then I was 12, I was naive, and I didn't know any better. With that account, I did get a bit further. I created a place. It was free models, obviously, meaning I didn't create it. I just plagiarized, as people would say. And a lot of people did it too, so I mean, you don't have to be too surprised knowing that I plagiarized on the freaking free-to-play game. It's not on a free game, sorry, it's not free-to-play yet. That would come later on, sorry. No, actually, no, I'm sorry, it's not even free-to-play at all. This is a wait, hold on. It's not even a free-to-play, you know what I mean, it's a free-to-play game, it's, okay, whatever, it's not EA or something like that. But anyways, afterwards, I created a building or a place. It was pretty much this idea of blue versus red. They had free model castles and they would go fight each other and that kind of stuff. Now it did have some success, I would say, because I would spam on, or I wouldn't spam, but I would tell people, hey, check out my place, or hey, visit my place. I would advertise my place, on other people's comments and that kind of stuff, which everyone did too, mind you. So I mean, don't think that I'm the only asshole. Other people were assholes back then too. Anyways, unfortunately for that account, I did forget my password eventually, so then I created my third account, and you might be all thinking, and people might be thinking, oh, they forget your password for this account too. And I would say you would think, but this account was actually where I had a lot of my experiences made from this account. This account was called LinkFan716. Now, the name LinkFan was taken because I couldn't come up with a good username, so I just stole my friend's name, Linkmaster, but I changed it to LinkFan. And the 716 came from the fact that on Roblox, if your name is too generic, they will help make your name stand out more by fucking it up. Essentially giving it a bunch of random numbers so that, it could bypass the security system and that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to name some highlights that I did on this particular account. So the first thing that I can remember is that I was in a YouTube video. Actually, I was in 3 YouTube videos. The first one was sort of like a old school, Windows Movie Maker, where the subtitles would be typed in on the bottom and you would just see, like a sort of 1980s film, but except everything is in color and not just in black and white, like it was back in the day. And I can remember also, like, the concept was that it was based off of one of the Iron Man movies. I'm not really sure. I think I was in episode 4 or 5. And I didn't really contribute much to it. I was more of a sort of, a side character, not the main character, which I'm fine with because honestly, when I saw them, do the video, I was like, holy shit, these guys know what they're doing, they seem to all be, in this together. So I definitely felt honored to be in such a video like that. Also, I was in a music video too. It was the Do You Like Waffles video or something like that. And I remember I was just talking to someone and then they said that they needed an actor and I was like, hey, I'm down. So then we did the video. And it was, I think, around a minute or so, but it was pretty cool nevertheless to be in YouTube videos. Another thing that I did was that I was also in war groups too. Now, I had joined some war groups before, but the war group that stands out to me the most was this war group called ROBLOX Elite Defenders. And this was pretty cool because I actually got into war raids, meaning I would go to other people's territories and I would raid them with my group. And it would be this fucking battle, of epic proportions, where, we would go out there, shoot each other, stab each other, and it would just be pretty freaking amazing. But also, there'd be times in which we were, doing a meeting or something, and then all of a sudden, you see a bunch of random players coming in from different groups and they would come fight us off. And it was really stupid if you think about the whole concept, but for a teenager like me back then, I think for anyone, it was just an amazing feeling that you could never really take away. Another thing that I did too in terms of the building aspect was that I did build some morphs too. My most famous one was the Rock Lee Shippuden morph. And this was because I just basically free modeled the morph maker and I just pasted, or I bought the Rock Lee clothes and I just pasted them onto the morph and I tested it and make sure it worked, and then I released it to the public for free because that's how it works. Is whenever you release something to the public, you can make it free or you can make it private. I, of course, being generous, I made it free for everyone. And when I saw how many people took it, I was absolutely astonished because it was around 460, which was probably the most that I've gotten in terms of the numbers. Because I created some other morphs. I've created some 30V morphs. I created a Chris Jericho tuxedo morph, and I did have, I guess, a little bit of success, but I wasn't really that well known, which is okay though, because on Roblox, I didn't come in with the intention of being well known. I came in with the intention of just trying out the game, seeing why it's so popular, and now I can definitely see the transition. Now everything's much more professional, everything has more scripting, and it just feels more authentic, because of the technology that we have nowadays, especially in a game like Roblox. It's absolutely unbelievable. But what else did I do, honestly? If you think about it here, oh yeah, I also joined a word group too on my third account, or I'm sorry, my fifth account called Tuna OD, and the reason why I created this account was because people were breaking the #1 most broken rule in Roblox, and that was not online dating. Now, I can kind of blame Roblox for not enforcing it as, heavily as they should, because online dating is a serious thing. The kids nowadays, they don't know who they're talking to on the internet. It could be some 80-year-old, it could be a pedophile, it could be a child molester, a rapist, someone that could do harm to these young millennials. But yeah, my main purpose of creating that names in particular was so that I could join a war group and I could sort of spread awareness. And I tried to, me and my buddies, me and my group mates, we would go to like these really popular places like Roblox in Pool, and we would essentially, screenshot to show evidence that, oh, so and so was breaking the Roblox rule, and you would report him to Roblox. But then after a while, I thought, you know what, this is never gonna end, no matter how many people Roblox decides to ban, if Roblox actually give a shit, more and more would come back. Because that's just how it is, when you kill one, 10 more come in his place, they manipulate like crazy. However, at this point, I don't think Roblox really cares, because let's be honest here, I think they allowed Disney to, be a part of the sponsors. So of course Disney, attracting the big fan base of kids that they have, now Roblox is infested with kids. And I guess for me being a veteran of Roblox, I don't really care, to be honest, because as long as the business is doing good, it's perfect. But I guess the community now is even worse because you have people that are, doing good things, like doing good and doing bad things and that kind of stuff. And overall, I just felt like when I played Roblox, it was at its prime. I joined in 2009, and some people will say, oh, 2007, 2006 was better because that was the early beginnings of Roblox. But I felt like when I joined, I didn't join too late, to be honest. 2009, 2010 was still good, but then when they started introducing the body morphs in 2011 or something like that, that's when I kind of knew Roblox was trying to, go to a different direction. They were trying to take away their legally image. And if you look at these Roblox music videos now, of like these popular songs like Havana or Shape of You or something like that, you see the amount of editing and how realistic Roblox can look now, even though it looks blocky as shit. You can see that Roblox is not the game that it was before. It's become a much more immersive game that anyone can play now. You can be freaking 23 or 25. I think the Diamond Minecraft plays Minecraft now, and how old is he? Like 21, 22. So now anyone can play Roblox, but I feel like when I joined Roblox, it was the at its best, I would believe, and that's because I'm biased, but I truly believe back then things were a lot more simpler. Now things are so complicated that I don't even want to play anymore. Not just because I'm getting older, but because there's just nothing left to accomplish. But with that being said, I had a pretty good career overall, I would say. It may not be as interesting as other people's, but I definitely had a good time while the game was in its prime. And with that being said, I will end this long video on a high note. Anyways.